Hello fellow business owners, this is Kevin from InDesignVictoria.com, and in this video I'm going to discuss WordPress and the mobile web. Now for those who don't know, WordPress is a website content management system and it's used to power hundreds of millions of websites across the web, both mobile and mainstream websites that you'd see on your desktop. And the mobile web, well, we'll get to what that is in just a moment. Life today is very, very complicated with a million things competing for our attention. We all have deadlines to meet, social engagements to attend, networking seminars, soccer practice, and the list just goes on. Thankfully, everyone has one of these. Well, almost everybody. And here in British Columbia, 82% of families have access to a mobile cell phone, of which over 70% of those are the smart variety. They have web access. But what exactly is the mobile web, and why does it matter for small business owners? During the course of this video, we're going to describe what the mobile web is, why mobile and why now, what's driving that, why small businesses should go mobile, and then having made that decision, what to build. There are 3 platforms to build a mobile website on. It can be a responsive website, a native application, or a web application. And the one you choose will depend upon a couple of things such as budget, what niche or what business you're actually in, and whether you deal with global sales or local sales or both. Once you decide what to build, you may need to go and get yourself a domain name. But before you do that, I'll tell you exactly what type of domain name you need. And if you've already got a main website, you don't need to purchase another one, and I'll explain that too. What options are available for WordPress? What works for a mobile website and what doesn't? And once you've built your site, how do you connect the site so that when someone goes to your main website on a mobile phone, they see your nice mobile optimized site? And then what are the possibilities exist around mobile that you can incorporate into WordPress, such as text message marketing, connecting to the App Store, the website design, and a whole bunch more. In today's on-demand world, we face a new challenge when it comes to engaging customers and consumers who are busy with a million things on the go, just like we are. We face the constantly connected consumer. In order to grow our business, we must be able to engage consumers via their always-on, always-connected smart mobile devices. It's important for today's business owners to understand the mobile landscape and to position themselves to be able to communicate with their clients, customers, and the consumers at large via this new mobile network. It's a fact, and there's tons of facts out there about mobile, but it's documented almost all over the place, that people are shopping and searching and looking for local information on their smartphone every day. And that is increasing at a massive rate. If you're not mobile, you're missing a ton of your customers. The mobile web is here. It's no denying. Okay? And businesses that make the most of this now will be the ones that are still around in 5 years' time. To see what's possible with mobile, and I've got a few sites on this demonstrator, go to mobidemo.biz on your smartphone and check out what's on that site. And you'll see there's a big click to call button in the middle there. And if you want to call me about a mobile website, hit that button and it'll go straight to my phone. Now, despite the technology available today, the mobile website is not about the size, type, or version of the technology that you use. It's not about technology. The mobile web is not about that. It's surprisingly enough, it's about people, and more importantly, how they interact with today's smart devices. To quote from Steve Jobs in 2004, he was discussing the potential for a pocket version of his Apple system. And it was one of those rare interviews that he gave to tech shows, basically. And he said, if we were to show an iPhone to, say, an 80-year-old person, they would ask, what is it? However, if we show this to an 8-year-old boy, he would ask, what does it do? What is it? It, of course, being the mobile web. It's the connection between technological change and today's consumers. Now, that sounds an odd statement to make, but when you think about it, technology is changing all the time. Consumers don't change. What the consumer does is they adapt to the available technology that makes their life easier. In actual fact, what it does is it makes their life more complicated, but they adapt to that. So, technology provides the venue or the means, and the consumer provides the method. So why mobile and why now? If you search using Google on your laptop, on your desktop, on your iPad, or wherever, and you go to this howtogomo.com, you'll arrive at a website that looks like this. Now, this is a wealth of information about the mobile web and where it's going and where it's been. And you can even test your site on there, so you can push that test your site link at the top of the site there, and then you enter some details into the sheet that comes up, and it'll tell you how well or how poorly your current site is in terms of a mobile experience. And from that, you'll be able to determine whether you need to consider going mobile. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, and I don't really get into that right now, because it would take me all night just to go through this one website, and there are many, many websites, particularly from Google, that are dedicated to the mobile web. And one of the principal guiding reasons that Google is so keen on the mobile web is because, essentially, it's staked its future on the mobile phone and the mobile web. It's bought AdMobs. Now, AdMob is a mobile-specific advertising platform. So when people build applications, they build websites, etc., etc., Google's hoping to sell AdSense-style advertising for mobile phones. And also because Google is the owner of the Android operating system. Android currently powers around 35 or 40% of all mobile phones that are currently being made. So if the mobile phone doesn't take off, then Android doesn't take off. Needless to say, mobile is being driven by Google, and Google is a big dog when it comes to the modern search engine and the modern advertising platform, and therefore Google is driving the mobile web. And if Google's driving the web, you know damn well you're going to go there. There's a bunch of reasons why mobile matters. I won't read each of these. I'll leave each one of these up for a couple of seconds so you can read them yourself. But these are all facts directly attuned from Google and other places about what the mobile web is all about. As you can see, each of these has very large numbers of users, 70%, 60%, and they're all saying basically the same thing. Mobile is here to stay, and in some cases, I think the bottom one, the 23% of adults have cursed at their phone when a site doesn't work. I think that's actually a lot higher than that. I do it almost daily. But we also swear at our computer and do other things to our computer, so why not do it to a phone? At the end of the day, what is a phone these days? A phone is a mobile computer. Smartphone users have searched for local information. They use it to call businesses. And here's a good one, because 90% of those people who actually call a business or search for a business, 90% of them will act on that information within a day. And that's a powerful thing right there for mobile. Some people prefer mobile sites, others prefer applications. Depends on what project and what business you're in. A lot of people prefer mobile sites for purchases, but applications for functionality, and that's how it should be. And then people use mobile to shop and compare products and prices on the phone. Now, I've done it myself when I've gone into somewhere like Future Shop, and I'm looking at an electronic product I want to buy, and below it is a barcode. I'll use a code scanner. I'll scan that code, and then I'll use the code to find the same product in a rival store to see what the price is. If people are doing that all the time, you imagine what it's going to do for your bottom line if you're the guy with the best deal, or if you're offering a special coupon for someone who scans a mobile barcode. This is very powerful stuff for mobile, especially for businesses, bricks and mortar, or otherwise. Now the question is what to build. There are 3 distinct mobile platforms currently used in mobile design. The first one is a responsive website. Now, a responsive website, and this is one of my early designs for my main website at indesignvictoria.com, a responsive website basically will resize the complete website to show on the available browser on which it's being connected with. So if you're connected on an iPhone and you go through Safari, then it will size to your screen. It'll also size to a laptop and a tablet computer. So no matter what screen you go on, you'll be able to see the content. Now, that's all well and good, but this is not a true mobile site. This is a partially mobile optimized site, and as far as Google is concerned, it doesn't fully meet Google's criteria for a mobile optimized website. And that distinction is important for business owners, because Google is giving you a reward if you have a mobile website that it recognizes as such. It's a whole different story as to why Google's doing that, and I don't want to get into it in this video. Maybe I'll shoot another one about that, but for now, just accept my submission at least, that this is not the best mobile solution. Then we have a web application. This is essentially a mobile website designed to display only on a smart mobile device. Now, this is one I designed for Zambries down in the centre of Victoria. Now, on the front of this, there are these big icons, and these are what they call thumb-friendly. Now, within this particular web application, you can call a business by tapping the call button. You can make a reservation using their Open Table application. You can see their menus, you can get any coupons they have, you can get maps, you can watch their videos. This is a true mobile web application, but this is a mobile website. This is the first true mobile design, and this would be on a designed domain and would be linked to the main domain, and you would go to this particular website if you went on your smartphone. You wouldn't go to this if you went on your computer. At the very least, businesses need to have a landing page. This is a one-page solution, and essentially it's a means where someone looking for your site on a mobile phone could at least tap the little button that says touch here for immediate help, and it would access their phone system and call your business. Now, you can also use that for text message marketing, so that someone puts their phone number in, and then you call them back at the end of the day to see what they're looking for. Now, ideally, services like this, and this is a classic example that would use this sort of thing, would be an emergency plumbing service or perhaps a towing company. Now, towing companies are unique because, well, when a car breaks down these days, they don't necessarily have access to their laptop and the internet, but they do have a mobile phone. Now, if they're not from your part of town or your part of the world, they may have no idea how to get hold of an emergency mechanic or a tow truck. So if you are a tow company, you don't have one of these, you're missing out. Okay, so again, these are one-page landing pages, and these can be built for a couple of $100. Or you can go all in with the top dog. You can go in with a native application. Now, a native application is an application built for a specific mobile system, such as the iPhone, the Android system, BlackBerry, and even some of those old-style Windows phones that are still around. These are the creme de la creme, and they give you so much more capability for your users, and these would be aimed at people who use your business on a semi or regular basis. And you could offer them deals specifically offered via this device rather than having a general open offer that everybody can get. So you can actually reward your current customers, and anyone in business knows that in order to keep your business growing, you really have to target people who already use your business. Yeah, new people coming in are great, but it's much easier to keep a current customer than to find a new one. Now, some points of note here with regards to the mobile web. Mobile websites are universal and they work on all devices that have a web browser capability. Native applications generally cost more upfront, but can work out to be cheaper over time, and that is because they come with a built-in text messaging system that costs nothing to run. And I put a caveat on that because most of them have a hosting charge. That part of that hosting charge is for that push message system. So be aware of that. It's not true that mobile apps have to be platform specific. In other words, if you go to a developer such as myself, for example, and you said, I want a mobile application for my business, what can you build me? I wouldn't say I can build you an iPhone application or I can build you an Android application, because the applications that I design and submit work on all of those platforms from that single design. Not everybody's offering that sort of situation in Victoria or even anywhere, actually. And they're worth looking at. If you consider an application, you don't just want it to work on iPhone or to work on Android, because you're missing the other half of the market. You want it to work on them all. And if you were to go to a developer and get them developed for each of those systems independently, you're probably looking at $10,000, which is outside of most small business budgets, for example. But if you build one that's native for all of them, $1,500, $2,000 is about right. The best solution, in my opinion, is to have both a web application, that's a website, and a native application for best effect. Now, we live in Victoria on the west coast here of Vancouver Island, west coast of Canada, and we are very, very subject to the woes and tides of tourism. Now, people who live in the city would probably download an application from a business if they used it often enough, but our visitors don't have access to those unless they specifically search for it. But if they search for something, they're going to search for a website. Now, if you're a downtown restaurant, for example, and you want to take up some of that slack that's coming off the cruise ships in the summer, having a mobile app with a special deal for people who come to your website to your business using that website, perhaps you want to reward them, and that's a good way of getting business through the door. Text message marketing is not expensive. There are some costs, and it depends on what you want to do with text message marketing. But text message marketing is extremely effective, and in fact, can actually, once it's set up, can actually be free. Yeah, I can actually set you a system up that once you've paid me the money to set it up, and it's only a couple of $100, it actually ends up being free in the end. Give me a phone call. I'll explain it. Now, I mentioned earlier that Google's driving the bus when it comes to the type of domain that works best for mobile. Google is giving us clues. And in short, the best type of domain is one that is an m.yourdomain.com. notyourdomain.com/Moby. It's m.yourdomain.com. Google, if you example of this, use your cell phone that you have in your pocket right now and go to facebook.com and see what they do, and you'll see that it goes to m.facebook.com. Go to Amazon, go to CNN, go to any of the major players who are large corporations, Bank of America and all these. They'll all have a mobile optimized site. Okay, so m.yourdomain.com. Now this m. is a subdomain that most hosting providers will give you for free. You just have to know how to set it up. And if you don't, again, your webmaster will be able to do that, or I will. It's very, very simple. It takes 5 minutes. Okay, so when it comes to building your website with WordPress, a caveat to this, because there are no free options. You're going to have to spend a little bit of money to buy a theme or a plugin or to do something. And I'm going to show you what options you currently have available to you, what works and what doesn't. There are plugins that claim to be mobile solutions, such as WP Touch, Wapple, WordPress Mobile Pack. Each of these are great if you're developing a blog. A blog is it's a wordy document type website that you put your opinion up on. It's not built for a business to drive business itself. These do not work. There are a couple of other solutions that do work, but I've got to be honest that they're way out of the reach of most business owners, and they're frankly not worth looking at. But a mobile website, the other ones don't make, okay? And here is an example. This is actually WP Touch. Now, WP Touch is made by Brave New Code, and I'm actually a developer for this company. I actually use some of their software when I design applications, because I actually use this software to pull in an external blog into a mobile application, so that someone who's visiting the business can actually read their blog from within their application. It's very good. It works wonderful for that, but it's no good as a mobile web design. And there are great themes, and there are a bunch of them here. First Giant Leap, iWorld, Mobility WordPress, Mobius, My Mobile Page, and of course my personal favorite, because I use this theme, is WP Mobile Pro. They provide 9 different designs. They're all different colors, they've got different graphics, but they're all very, very good. Highly recommend them. And here is the one that I use mostly for my own design. And obviously I would use other designs depending on what you wanted in terms of a mobile site itself. But you see that big green click to call button, and these icons all are clickable to pages in the web. It's simple, it looks neat, it's not overcomplicated, and it's thumb friendly. Now, when it comes to WordPress, you want to be able to direct your visitor to the right website based upon the screen size they're going to be viewing it on. So you have to have a plugin within your WordPress site, and I use Jump Moby, and I use Jump Moby because it works. There are some things that Jump Moby gives you that other plugins that do a similar solution just don't do. So Jump Moby works, and it connects very well, and it's never failed me when it comes to connecting up to a WordPress website. And it gives, like I said, it gives you certain solutions that other plugins just don't give you. It's not cheap, but it's not massively expensive either. Mobile and WordPress is a good first solution, but there's more to this than just having a mobile presence. So what else can you do with mobile that perhaps you're not doing? SMS, text message marketing, is one. You can engage your current customers. You can drive them to special offers. you can install menus on sites, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And essentially, what a mobile site will give you will be an avenue to almost everybody that's looking for your business. They're not sitting behind their computer 24/7 anymore looking for businesses. They're out on the road, and they'll find one within a 5 to 10 kilometer radius that has a mobile site, and they'll go use that. They'll go use that business because they can find out information that they need. So I highly recommend that you consider the mobile web for your business. And if you want to know more, my number, etc., and how to contact me, email, my website, and my telephone number. This has been Kevin from indesignvictoria.com, and this is WordPress and the mobile web. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.